Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, October 11, 2024. 144 two-bedroom units and 301 serviced lots at Perth Estate Phase 2 in Manchester were formally handed over to the proud beneficiaries on Wednesday. The keys and letters of possession were delivered by Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness during a ceremony held by the National Housing Trust, NHT. Of the 445 housing solutions, 66 were reserved for public sector contributors and persons with disabilities. 63% of the selectees are between 41 and 60 years of age.
But importantly, to go back to our thrust for equity, 33% of those who are accessing mortgages in this development would pay between 0 and 2% interest. So that tells you that though the profile is more lower middle, there is also a deliberate thrust to ensure that persons who may be earning minimum wage to below $42,000 a month, that they are also captured in the profile. So generally we can say that Perth has a balanced profile of contributors to ensure that every aspect of the Jamaican society is represented here.
Perth Estate Phase 2 offers a total of 458 two-bedroom units and 773 serviced lots and is being developed at a cost of $14.2 billion. The remaining solutions are to be delivered at a later date. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the NHT continues to make progress on its mandate to deliver over 43,000 housing solutions within the next 5 years. Giving a breakdown, Dr. Holness points out that 4,856 solutions from 21 projects are currently under construction across 9 parishes. Contracts have been approved for 11 projects to deliver 10,515 units, while 23 projects comprised of nearly 15,000 units are currently going through the procurement and negotiation process. Additionally, the NHT is in the planning and design phase for 11,000 housing solutions from another 17 projects. There is also the Mount Nelson development in Manchester with 1,468 housing solutions and 820 units in Albion.
Never before in the history of Jamaica has the NHT had so many houses under construction. Never, ever, ever.
The Prime Minister says the plans for these projects were set back for 2 years due to the COVID-19 pandemic and the impact of a rise in inflation and supply chains which affected construction. He reiterates that these developments are not the government's only strategies to deal with the country's 150,000 housing deficit.
The NHT, through the policy of the government, has now worked out how it is going to knock off 43,000 of that 150. But the NHT is not the only instrument of the government's housing plan. We have the Housing Agency of Jamaica, and they have another 15,000 houses that they will deliver. And then the government, through other initiatives, such as the Bernard Lodge development, which will deliver another 10,000 or more housing solutions.
Prime Minister Holness was addressing Wednesday's ceremony to hand over 445 housing solutions at Perth Estate Phase 2 in Manchester. The 2024 Grade 4 PEP exam results are now out, and the Ministry of Education says they indicate a positive trend, with more students achieving proficiency or higher in both mathematics and language arts compared to last year. The ministry released the results across various regions and schools yesterday. 33,540 Grade 4 students participated in the assessments for language arts and literacy performance task, as well as mathematics and numeracy performance task. 38.7% of students reached proficiency or above in mathematics, an increase from 32.3% in 2023. In language arts, the proficiency rate moved from 38.7% to 44.3%. There was also improvement in students who mastered the numeracy and literacy performance task components. This year, 65.1% achieved mastery in literacy, while 69.9% achieved mastery in numeracy. Education Minister Favour Williams has commended the students on their achievements and expressed gratitude to educators and parents for their collaborative efforts, which have helped to drive this year's PEP4 results. The security forces are to be mobilized to ensure the continuation and completion of rehabilitation works on the Mandela Highway. The National Works Agency had to abort work to improve the section through Central Village yesterday due to the actions of criminals. The work crew carrying out preparatory works for the patching of the road left the corridor after criminals sought to extort the contractor. But the minister with responsibility for the works portfolio, Robert Morgan, says he has been in touch with the police high command to provide security on the project. The minister is adamant that no act of criminality will prevent the government from making the Mandela Highway safer for road users. The work forms part of interventions to improve corridors impacted by Hurricane Beryl and subsequent rains. It is being done under the Relief, Emergency Assistance and Community Help REACH program, being executed at a total cost of $3 billion. Jamaica has supported an updated strategy to accelerate actions for meeting targets of tobacco control in the Americas. The updated strategy was developed by the Pan-American Health Organization, PAHO, and presented at its 61st Directing Council meeting held in Washington last week. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, led Jamaica's delegation to the meeting.
A big discussion point here is continuing the thrust around controlling and hopefully eliminating over time tobacco consumption, including the new wave devices, e-cigarettes. PAHO has been working with member countries to look at the legislation and the policies around controlling cigarettes. As you know, we have comprehensive legislation that's coming.
Dr. Tufton says the country must ensure tobacco control measures are integrated into the non-communicable disease response to reduce mortality and morbidity. He says a robust public education campaign will be done to support implementation of control strategies. And finally, the Ministry of Health and Wellness says it has now issued commitment letters to tertiary institutions for the more than 400 recipients of the Dr. Barry Wint Memorial Scholarship who have signed the bond with the Ministry of Finance. The ministry says it will continue to dialogue with the respective institutions, and they will now work through their internal processes to address any challenges that the students may be experiencing. Scholarship recipients who are yet to complete the bonding process have until Friday, October 18, to do so. Those facing challenges with meeting the requirements of their bonding agreement are encouraged to contact the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service. Awardees may call 876-922-8600, visit the office at 30 National Heroes Circle, Kingston 4, or send an email to colette.mccausland@mof.gov.jm. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.